Morning. Today is April 30th. A bit of a late start here. I can explain that later. I'm having to figure out how all this stuff works again and get everything reset up. So bear with me for a moment. As always, we're trading the Nasdaq. This is the TopStep account. This is a combine. This is step 2. I'm like $2,500 short of passing it. So a little more than that. It's like 200,000. I can't talk anymore. $2,547, somewhere around there. Anyway, let me get this all set up. Markets look like they sold off last night, like they're trying to push up. Just gonna chill and see what it does, see how it responds to VWAP before we look to get into any trades. Oh, a nice rip there. Let's see if it pulls back anywhere and we can long off of that.
Order filled. Stop filled.
Is the audio back? That should do it. I think this wants to break here. Let's see if it pushes up or not. Still gonna be patient. Gonna try and be patient here and not jump in. I'll redo my intro since my my sound wasn't working. But today it's April 30th. Trading the Nasdaq futures as always. This is a TopStep Combine. This is step 2, and just sharing my process as I go through. Thank you, Alex. I did not realize that my mic was muted on the software here. Basically, I was not able to upload the past 2 days because the previous stream that I was doing, YouTube banned me. It showed that my account was disabled for breaking community guidelines, and I had no idea what was going on. I went and read through all the community guidelines, and there was nothing that actually applied. So I appealed, and it just sent me through a whole bunch of automated processes, which wasn't working. So did a little bit of research on how to get that sorted out, and I think YouTube has like
Order filled.
a software. Just gonna go ahead and get long here. Very tight stop in case it doesn't want to continue. But YouTube has an algorithm that basically looks for certain signs of whatever happening, and if those things are showing, then it will basically kick you out.
Stop filled.
Stopped for another $105 there. I know that was a really quick trade. Again, I see it forming kind of this build-up pattern here. What I'm looking for is for it to continue to add momentum, as I'm seeing on the delta, but it's looking like it's not wanting to break out of it. I was hoping that, basically looking on this, if we scroll out here a bit, we're seeing this rounding formation here, and it's been building up since the overnight, not overnight, but this is from 7:30 in the morning. It's been building up and starting to push up. So now that we've hit view up and crossed it, I'm hoping that buyers will start coming in here and pushing this thing up. And I'm seeing buyers come in on the delta. It's just not responding quickly on the chart. It looks like it's trying to here though. Tempting to want to get in. We
Order
will.
filled.
Again, stop is going to be very tight because, again, it's a breakout. And anytime I'm doing any sort of breakout, I'm putting my stop very, very tight. Just because breakouts tend to fail a lot. And I'm just not willing to participate if it's not gonna go up.
Stop filled.
So stopped out on that one. A little bit of playing with fire this morning. I should just be more patient and let it break out of the range. Anyway, back to all the shenanigans with YouTube. So account got banned for community guidelines. Went through and read through everything, and I didn't break any, at least not to my knowledge. Eventually, was able to appeal it, and they put everything back. But what I've learned is that so when they disable your account, they don't just disable the YouTube channel. They disable your entire email from having access to YouTube. So all the stuff that I've bought on YouTube, all the movies and things that I've like bought, rented, whatever, or subscriptions, are basically just lost at that point. And then you can't even go and create another account because it's the email that's connected to the account that's banned. So that really sucked. I was basically begging them, like, even if I did break some rule that I didn't know about, like, delete my channel, delete everything, but let me have access with my email to YouTube, because there's a lot of, like, you subscribe to stuff. I have, like, music playlists and things that, this music playlist I've put together over years, and it's hundreds and hundreds of songs, and to lose that would just kind of suck, right? So I'm glad they put it back, but after I'm done with this series on doing this step 2, I'm definitely not gonna stream or upload anything on this account. I may create a whole nother channel just depending. Really, my intention was only to share the combine uh, via TopStep, and that was pretty much it. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, enough about that. Back to trading. Looks like it's breaking out. Again, I really hate taking breakout trades, but very tempting to jump in here. Let's look at the ES. ES pushing on the 15-minute chart. Yesterday was a brutal day in the markets. It just sold off and sold off and sold off. And then after doing all that sell off, it was it yesterday or was it the day before? No, I don't even remember my days anymore. But one of these past 2 days, the market had a ton of movement, but by the end of the day, the market really had done nothing. It pretty much closed where it opened. So I think we had like a massive sell-off. It was like 200 or 300 points down, only for it to grind back up 200 or 300 points. We'll see what today has in store. Gotten burnt on trying to take these breakouts a little bit here, but if this can start pushing up from here, depending on what the delta looks like, I may add. Again, just adding with the 3 contracts, looking to get in and get out quick. Nice little VWAP touch there. See if it wants to push. Checking my delta to see if there's confirmation. A little bit of buyers in the delta, but not seeing enough, not yet.
Order filled.
We'll take it. Hopefully that sustains enough and it doesn't come down. Zoom in here. I don't want to stop out right away. I'll give it a little bit of space here. Risking 675 on this trade. Hopefully I don't end up regretting that. It's looking hesitant to push here, but we'll see. The ES is trying to get towards its high. Let's look at the Nasdaq time charts and see what it looks like on the time charts. I haven't really looked at the time chart at all today. Honestly, time chart doesn't look bad. Hitting kind of the resistance where this major engulfing pushed down, so maybe that's what's holding us up here. Coming down. It's unfortunate. If it breaks VWAP, then I will get stopped out.
Stop filled.
Stopped out there. That hurts a little, but it's okay. Gave it a little more space on that one, but didn't pay off. I really need to wait for this whole range to break. But today could end up being one of those days where it grinds for a really long time. I don't like trading one contract. It just feels slow, honestly. You know, my day is either going to be I never trade more than 2 hours anyway. So if my trades are just wrong, then I'm just wrong on the day, right? Really, my only parameters are don't break rules. So as long as I don't do that, I'm fine. I'm either going to be right quickly or just wrong quickly. And I'm really not trying to so if you go back to the first videos in the channel, I was trading with one contract and trying to do more of a scaling type deal where I would just add contracts over time, or just trade the one contract And I was finding that I had a harder time being correct on the not really a longer time frame, but I mean it's longer than what I'm currently doing now with 3 contracts. I just had a harder time scaling in or just trading the one contract and having and being profitable that way. In theory, it makes sense. It should be easier, but it just wasn't working for me. You know, everybody's a little bit different, so see, I still want to go long, but I don't want to go long when it's just made a local low. And seeing the delta sell off like this, what I need to do is just be patient and wait for this whole range to break. Like I think I've taken what 3 trades now that failed in this little range area here. Or is it 2? That's 2. Still chopping, but chopping around, but delta is selling off, and as much as this is kind of bouncing back and forth, it is starting to form a little downward shelf here, right? Let's draw a quick line. I think that's one thing I don't like about this platform. It doesn't let you draw. It doesn't let you extend your line past where the chart's current bar is. Or maybe it does and I just don't know how to. Looking to get in short here if I can see something that I like. I'm just gonna do it.
Order filled.
Stop will be on the other side of the trend line. Currently risking 660 on this one. Just gonna move my take profit way off. Again, I think I'm a little early. I think ideally it would be better to wait for this to break down and then pull back and test the level to then short. But I guess I'm just feeling impatient today, so I'm jumping in. I'm jumping into a lot of stuff that I really shouldn't be jumping into.
Order filled.
And that's why, right? Like I've known that it's been chopping here, and however this looks, it can, until it actually breaks the level and goes somewhere else, it can continue to chop around. It's really unfortunate, but it's okay. I know what I'm doing wrong. I just need to stop doing it wrong. Okay, now it breaks out long. Would like to see a solid push here before it pulls back. Otherwise, if it was to pull back here, I would take the next long if it pulled back from here. I just know that, again, you know, I would be at risk of getting stuck in this little zone here. So I'd like to see it push away from there, get away from VWAP first, and then come back. And we have to be a little cautious of the delta today, because the delta really, really sold this to make it look like it was going to go short, and then it didn't, right? So I think I may just ignore the delta entirely after seeing that. Trying not to FOMO in long. Very tempted to. As always, you know, like, do as I say, right? Not as I do. What I'm saying while I'm streaming, what I'm actually doing in my trades tend to not line up. Or heck, don't do as I say either. Still pushing up here. ES is starting to hit the 200 EMA. Let's see if the Nasdaq is running into anything. Nasdaq running into, I guess, last night's the overnight like range area. So we'll see how it reacts to that. Hopefully it gives us a pullback to long off of. I definitely need to continue to work on my patience. It's gonna suck though when this thing pushes through here and doesn't give any sort of pullback from this area. And then, like, if I would have just continued being impatient, it would have paid off eventually. But as much as that's true, if I had just always been patient, right, I wouldn't have ever entered really any of these trades. Maybe one, but not 5 trades. Debating whether I want to treat the +1 as support and just buy off of it. Let's see what it does here. Ideally, would like to see more of a pullback than that. I'd like to see a bit more of a drop off here. The reason being, like if it pushes back up right here, then I'm literally buying in the middle of this range or near the high of day. And so I want to see it be able to get down and away from that so that I know that at least there's space before it runs right back into what I know is going to be an immediate resistance. Okay. Nice pullback here. Let's see if it can touch VWAP and if we can get a VWAP bounce. The VWAP bounce is one of my favorite trades to take. We'll see if I get it here. Don't want it to crack VWAP. I want it to start pushing back up right now. Okay. Let's see if it can bounce.
Order filled.
Let's see what it does here. Gonna give it ample space. On my take profit again, I'm not really worried about it. I just always move it very far away. Really, I'm looking to stop out profitably somewhere. Again, just gonna move this to break even. Hopefully it keeps pushing and doesn't just reverse right back and stop me out. This one looks like it wants to actually go though, so we'll see. If that reverses this bar, this will be a little unfortunate because it does look like it has potential to push up from here. But again, we'll see. Either it's going to be a big momentum play and it's going to run up, or it's just going to stop me out quickly. But I'm almost always going to move this thing to somewhere around break even. And just kind of take whatever the market gives. I'm really not too worried about my risk and reward ratio. Um, Usually for me, for the most part, it doesn't matter. Usually my losses are all very small. It's just unfortunately, I jumped into a lot of things in this choppy area knowing that I
Stop field.
shouldn't have. So stopped out there. We'll see what it wants to do here. The VWAP bounce did play out, but it looks like that's all we're going to get for now. Let's see if it wants to continue upwards. And I'm out too early again, or if it wants to actually sell off. Again, seeing Delta saying things here, but Delta still looks weird, so just kind of going to ignore it. Nice push up here. Unfortunate to not be part of it. Okay, let's see what it wants to do back at this range. Or back at the high, sorry. Not sure exactly what I think would be ideal here. Probably the best case scenario is it breaks this high, pushes slightly, and then pulls back again. That would be ideal for me to be able to get into a long. Got to keep in mind we're only 50 points away from the Nasdaq being back at break even. That break even point on the Nasdaq at 13,950 or 13,954, I think, will be a natural resistance. So just got to be aware of that. After seeing some of yesterday's movement, it's tempting to just long this and put my stop as far away as my drawdown will allow for the day, and just basically call that it's going to go long on the day. I think I could get away with that now, but if it pushes up past here, I wouldn't be able to do it because my stop wouldn't be far enough to match support. And I think now we've had enough upward momentum and enough to actually say it's not truly trending yet, but there's been enough to say that, it should continue upwards. Or to take trades with that assumption anyway. I think the only thing that would invalidate that we're going to continue upwards is for it to actually break VWAP and sell off. But, to touch this area again and start coming back up wouldn't invalidate that necessarily. So example for whoever was mentioning, why don't I trade one contract? If I was trading one contract, that's something I would do, would be to, add somewhere in this area and set my stop. Zoom out here. By somewhere in this area between the +1 and VWAP. And then set my stop underneath the lowest point of the push. So maybe around 1360, 13,860. Set my stop down there on the one contract, which would be plenty far away, give it plenty of space, and then see how far it's going to push upwards, or just get stopped out. And then probably you'll probably sit in that trade for a good hour or two. Maybe not. I mean, if this thing starts getting aggressive and pushes up, it could be 10, 20 minutes, but you'll sit in it for a while regardless. It's not going to be a quick 1 minute scalp or a couple seconds scalp. But that's not how I'm trading today. Just going for the quick in and out on 3 contracts. If it wants to push up and pay me, then so be it. And if not, then that's all good as well. ES is forming an engulfing on the 15-minute chart. I'm gonna go check the Nasdaq 15 as well. The Nasdaq is looking more bullish than the ES today. We'll see what it wants to do here. Tempting again, always tempting to add long on these little pullbacks. When I'm seeing this sort of a formation, right? We've bounced off of VWAP a couple times now here. This high it's only slightly, but it is higher than this previous high here. So it is a high on the day here, just formed. We're pulling off of it. Very tempting to add long. Would like to see it pull back more. I don't want to see it break VWAP. Just tap VWAP and start pushing back up is what I would like to see. I would also like to see ES start to push up and gain momentum. I want to long this here, but this is a little scary to long.
Order filled.
We're in it. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm not going to give this one too much space. I don't want this thing to come back on me.
Stop filled.
It's unfortunate it stopped out there. Didn't want to push right there. But yeah, on that one, I just didn't want to keep I don't want to keep the stop far enough away for it to be a loss at all. I wanted to actually, make sure it broke even or was positive, just because I still feel like this can come down. Trading very scared today. I may be trading a little too scared, to be honest. Yeah, seeing the ES come down. Let's see if this turns into the start of a downward push, or if it, buyers just start coming back in and rockets this thing back up. I think one more big push on the day will probably force us to go start rotating up towards 14K. If it breaks above this area here and pushes anywhere into this area, into like the +2, I think wherever it pulls back from that, it'll still go to 14K. We'll see. Again, taking delta with a grain of salt. The delta is showing that it wants to start selling off. We're seeing that it is starting to form like a little downward channel here, but last time I took that trade, I got hurt. So as much as I'm keeping delta in the back of my mind, I'm keeping it, in the back of my mind before I start thinking of anything short here. If anything, I just won't take longs rather than I'm going to go short. For those joining, I'm trading the Nasdaq futures. We're doing 3 contract scalps, trying to get in and out pretty quick. 3 contracts is pretty big as far as contract size. A lot of risk, a lot of reward. I like this double bottom. I do like that double bottom. I really want to buy here based on that double bottom and the ES starting to show some green, some signs of life. Ugh. I think I'd rather be slightly late than early, so I'll wait. If it can break above the plus 1, I'll go ahead and jump in.
Order filled.
Okay. Hopefully this doesn't reverse all of this and, just come down and destroy me. This one, the stop is really far, actually. We're at 1,125. If that was to get stopped out there, I absolutely would not want to see that happen. But at the same time, I want to give it space and, just kind of follow the chart and put the stop where it should be just based on the chart, regardless of, how it feels. But I honestly want to cut this off now. I'm getting
Order
out.
filled.
I'm not getting my pushes today. I don't know if it's just that I'm stopping out too quickly or actually being wrong. I'll have to review all of that at the end of the day. I think I am just stopping out too soon. Yeah. It wouldn't have mattered all that much anyway. After that, I would have moved my stop up here and been stopped out there as well. That maybe the next thing that I experiment with is, instead of moving my stops to break even all the time, just leaving them underneath the structure and seeing how that plays out. But that's hurt me in the past as well too, which is why I started doing it. It's kind of like a back and forth, right? One thing doesn't work, you switch, it works for a while, it doesn't work, you switch, works for a while, it doesn't work. Back and forth, back and forth. Really, I think today has just been more of a At least for the first hour, it's been more of a choppy morning. Aside from this up and down here. See, I want to take this break. It really does look like it's going to push up, but I'm putting my stop there. I don't think I have
Order filled.
space. Let's see, where is 1,000? I'll leave my stop here for a bit and see what it does. No, I won't. I'm lying. Push up. I want to, at least for the sake of consistency, I don't want to change it up today. I'll review and change up what I'm doing tomorrow, but not in the middle of the day. You know, if it stops me out here, then so be it. That would only be 150. These bars really don't want to stack up and go for me. It's because I'm always getting in late on the breakouts because it's not pulling back enough. The only time it pulled back that I got in was here. And that was the only trade that actually paid anything significant. Not that 150 or whatever is not significant, or the 105s I've been getting are not significant, but you know, we're talking 400 or 500 plus is really what I'm
Stop filled.
looking for. So out on that one, we'll see if it wants to continue upwards again. The problem right now is that the ones that I'm getting that are profitable, I'm getting stopped out on my where I moved up for break even, and I'm not getting the actual big pushes up, and I'm getting stopped out for a number of trades that are, you know, minus 500, minus 600, minus 500 here as well. So and now I do wish again. I wish again that I had left it further away and not done the break even, because you know, this would have been a lot more profit. That's my profit today. I think it's not even being wrong. I think I've been right more times than I've been wrong. Granted, part of that is because my stop is so tight, but even without that, if I had let the winners go more, I would be profitable today rather than being down 1,600 at the moment. Still got a good hour in the day though, so we'll see. Oh man. I won't lie, that hurts. I think that's twice that it's happened now. That where I bought, you know, I don't know what to call that, a kink, I guess, Because again, usually the pushes I'm looking for are this type of push where the range bars don't ever overlap, and so you just follow and follow and follow and follow for that entire push. Like this push is over 1,500, isn't it? Not quite. Is right about $1,500 on this push, just shy of it. But the spot that I got in, it pushed up alright, but it kinked, and so it stopped me out there. That's twice that's happened today. GG's to anyone who is on this push though. This is a big push. It's like what I was saying earlier. If I was trading the one contract where, you know, after this point here, it makes sense to put a stop that's, either underneath this swing area or just underneath VWAP, either or, and to just buy and just hold. Set your stop underneath this area or set it under VWAP and literally walk away. Because after seeing the momentum from the morning, along with the way the chart was looking, it just made sense that once it got above this area that it would continue, or that you would get some sort of push. So now the question is, will it get to 14,000? And if it does go to 14,000, how much of that 14,000 can I manage to take part in? Oh, my shoulder is killing me. Would not mind seeing a pullback here, obviously. Yeah, more of the story today is definitely going to be patience. I don't know what was going through my head this morning that I was so eager to jump into stuff when it was ranging like that. Now the plan is look for the pullback, wait for it to hit something concrete, whether it's some sort of volume node or maybe it's the +1 and the top of the previous range, something. Wait for it to find some sort of support, and then start pushing up, and we'll just buy that. I think after this push, it's established enough of an uptrend and enough of momentum that I'm more comfortable leaving my stop far away. Not far away, but with structure.
Order filled.
Jumping in just because I don't like to listen to myself. Very impatient here. Do not follow my trades. Probably take this. This will probably be a classic example of what not to do, to be honest. That was a bit of FOMO there. Not a bit, that was a lot of FOMO there. If this stops out underneath here, then I will just be done for the day. My take profit is not anything specific. If anything, I'll just move it to 14K just because I like the whole number. Really, what I should do is just accept that I've already lost today and just walk away. And if it stops me out there, then, so be it. And if it just keeps pushing the rest of the day, then, that's fine as well. I think even if this does push up and I do somehow break even, I'll still consider today an L because I've just took so many trades that were bad, including technically this one, just because of no patience. Uh-oh. Don't want to see the drop here. Want to see the continued push upwards. We know there's support there, so the stop's not in the wrong place by any means. Just gotta sit there and hope. That's a word I hate using in trading is hope.
Stop filled.
That's unfortunate. So out, I'm down 2,340 bucks on the day. After commissions, 24.51. I'm not gonna jump into any more trades because then I risk breaking the rule on TopStep where I would, there's a $3,000 daily loss limit. Luckily, the past 2 days, well, really 3 days, unfortunately, my stream got cut off or my account got banned for whatever random reason. They ended up rescinding that and saying it was just an accident, but still kind of sucked that I couldn't stream the past 2 days. Those 2 days were really good. That was a big part of why I'm okay losing 3K today, because I made more than that those days. And then the day that I was streaming, I was up as well during that stream. So still up 4K on the account. Still have another 5K to go. I was hoping to finish it today, but it is what it is. Just to quickly recap the day and all the mistakes. Basically, I'm jumping into here. This is all really small, so probably can't even see it on the screen. But the problem for me today is impatience, for one. The market was just kind of chopping sideways, as you can see through this area. And I shouldn't have taken any trades at all in this section. The first time I should have taken a trade was here after this pullback, but the rest of these trades were a no-go. Maybe I could have even taken a breakout here if I really wanted to, but usually I don't like to take breakouts for the reasons you can see today. But just got wrecked there. Again, don't trade, don't follow my trades, don't do what I'm doing, because you can see I think I honestly am a bad trader. Jumped into a lot of sideways choppy action and just got destroyed there. Finally had a good trade here. Unfortunately, got stopped out. I'm okay with that. I mean, that's gonna happen. You're gonna get stopped out on trades that are winning trades when you're moving to break even. This next trade, unfortunately, this one stopped me out as well. Again, a lot of sideways action here. Maybe this first trade and getting stopped out there was okay, but I definitely shouldn't have done it a second time. I should have waited for the breakout and then the retest. And I finally managed to do that once. Had a good trade there, but then unfortunately it stopped me out again on the kink here. And then here I just kind of FOMO'd into what really wasn't much of a pullback. I should have waited for this pullback, but I didn't. Again, don't follow my trades, just to kind of reiterate. This is kind of the result you're gonna have if you're impatient in trading, and unfortunately, this will happen almost every time. But anyway, that's it. We'll see if I learn my lesson the next time I'm on here trading. But thanks and take care.